Here are 3 tips to help you cold call more effectively. Hi, my name is Rob Spence, the Managing Director of Paragon Sales Solutions. I'm a sales trainer, sales coach, and overall sales nerd. Now, cold calling is a real strong term within sales, right? For many, it can strike fear. For some, it can excite us. But let's face it, cold calling is necessary for you to make more sales. Sure, I understand we live in a world of digital marketing and automated this and automated that and chatbot this and email that. But the most disruptive form of marketing there still is the telephone call. Not only that, the telephone call will allow you to develop a relationship much stronger and much faster with someone as opposed to an email. And that's simply because of the tone of our voice. And I get asked a lot at Paragon Sales Solutions about how people should cold call. And it's one of the many things that our team do amazingly well. We make cold calls on behalf of our clients because we're so good at it. So I've sat down and I've thought about my best 3 tips. I could probably go on for a whole 20 tips, but we're just going to knuckle it down to 3 of my top tips to help you cold call more effectively. So tip number 1, always focus and concentrate on the client or the person you're speaking to. Have you ever sat there and had a cold call yourself and lo and behold, they're just literally punching you in the face with a pitch that you didn't ask for, it was unwarranted, and you left like you've been doing 10 rounds with Tyson Fury? It's horrible, right? It's off-putting. There's no relationship developed and you're sat there with your ears bleeding, crying, wondering why you've just wasted 5 minutes of your life. So think about that when you're cold calling. Should you go into a cold call and just pitch your services without any qualification or relationship developing? Or should you try and be a bit more open with your prospect? Ask questions, look to develop that rapport, understand what the client's looking for. As we always say, once we know what a client is looking for with their needs and their desires and their pain points, all we have to do as salespeople is offer the solution, and in theory, it'll all come together nicely. So always focus on the client, don't go in too pitchy too soon. Tip number 2 is don't use a script. To counter that, I believe that using a general loose script can really help, or at least have an understanding of the questions that you as a salesperson want to ask or need to ask. Just in case anything slips up, or just in case you forget anything, or just in case the nerves kick in or anything like that. However, we can all recognize when we're talking to a robot. We all know when we're talking to someone who's literally just been told exactly what to say. And it always reminds me of that episode of Friends where Phoebe goes and works in a call center and is just reading from that really horrible script. Be you, be a human being. Allow your emotion to come out on the phone call and you'll get so much of a better response than if you're just reading from a robotic script. But don't be afraid to have a loose guideline as to how you want the conversation to go. And thirdly, don't ever try and sell on the very first call. Sure, you've watched The Wolf of Wall Street and now you want to be rich and you're expecting to close £10,000 worth of sales on every call that you make. But listen, it's not going to happen. The Wolf of Wall Street was, for all intents and purposes, a very fictional story. No one is ever going to buy from you on the very first point of contact. Okay, maybe 1%, potentially. The cold call is there and should be used as a tool as a long-term sales process and is all part of the fact-finding, qualification and relationship development phase. Sure, if an opportunity arises in that first phone call where you feel that you can close a sale, listen, I'm not going to stop you. However, it's far better to take a step back, which will avoid any buyer's remorse, any negative experiences down the line. Take your time with it, build it up and go from there. So that was a very quick sales snippet this week. Just my 3 simple tips to help you cold call more effectively. As always, my email address is open just there on the bottom of the screen, rob@Paragon Sales Solutions. Do you agree with me? Should we not look to sell on the first phone call and is it better just to develop a nice relationship with someone? Or am I wrong? Should I be a hardcore closer like Grant Cardone? Should I be doing the 10 times rule and absolutely raking it in, driving around in my Lamborghini? I don't know. Drop me an email below and let me know your thoughts. Please do like and subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook or any of our other platforms. Please do share it as far and wide as possible. Thank you so much for watching this week's Sales Snippet. Until next week, all the best.